While we continue to look into some of the more nuanced issues within TikTok's brief, I think we absolutely have to talk about their stance on the mitigation of security concerns, and specifically that national security reference that TikTok has mentioned in both of its public pleadings in some detail. But before we look back, let's look at right now. This calendar year, TikTok states that it anticipates spending $2 billion on data security, content moderation, and, quote, protections against improper influences, end quote. Now let's delve into that history. TikTok states that from approximately February of 2021 through August of 2022, they negotiated with the United States the previously mentioned National Security Agreement to effectively mitigate national security risks associated with TikTok. Furthermore, they state that this agreement allowed for, and I quote, unprecedented oversight, monitoring, and very rigorous enforcement mechanisms. Among other measures, the draft agreement defined protected U.S. user data and required that it be maintained in a U.S.-based cloud environment, with the data further subject to governance by a board that must be approved by the U.S. government. In addition, TikTok's content moderation practices would have to be monitored by a third party. The agreement would, quote, deter and punish violations by, among other things, affording the government an unprecedented shutdown option, where the U.S. government could effectively suspend TikTok in the United States, impose monetary penalties, and other sanctions in response to specified acts of noncompliance. The brief then further claims that TikTok began to implement many of these measures without the agreement even being finalized. Which measures did it begin to implement? That is not specified, though it does go on to say that the early implementation of a not finalized security agreement also cost TikTok nearly $2 billion in the process. So what happened to this national security agreement? We are told that substantive engagement ceased in September of 2022 when TikTok and ByteDance were informed that senior government officials were demanding divestment instead. TikTok definitely drives this home a little bit further and claims they never received a single meaningful response to any subsequent inquiries or explanations, and that the entire national security agreement endeavor fell by the wayside.